And it was like, oh, the Holocaust happened, and then we...
That's what's going down. Here's the clip of her. Make it fake and gay and put a Jew in it, Christians.
And it was like, oh, the Holocaust happened, and then we realized...
That was a perfect soundbite, huh?
Many moons ago, before they decided to establish Israel as a country, I know you've read like the short version in the classroom, and it was like, oh, the Holocaust happened, and then we realized that Israel needs a state. No, that's not how it went down. That's not how it went down at the F all, okay? Catholics and Christians were going missing on Passover, and then they would find...
She's got photos of Andrew and Tristan Tate on her wall behind her.
Bodies, okay, across Europe, and they were able to trace them back to Jews. Blood libel. There weren't Jews, okay? These were Frankists. And so just like Leo Frank killed Mary Fagin on Passover back in 1913 or 1914, I can't remember the exact date. So he did it during Passover for a reason.
So now instead of exposing the Torah agenda, it's Frankists, blood libel, sacrificing children. That's the hill we want to die on. That's the central talking point we want to be talking about. Not their God and their Messiah conquering all the world and enslaving all the Goyim. No, that's actually good. She wants that, but just according to the Christian version of it. She wants the King of the Jews to rule the world, come back and rule the world.
Reason this Frankist cult, which is masquerading behind Jews.
See, so Jews and Judaism and the Torah aren't a problem. It's the secret shadowy group that's behind them and using them as the fall guy. We've heard this before. Yeah, and Sabbatean Frankism was just a branch, a manifestation of Torah, Kabbalah, Messianism. There would be no Zionism without Judaism. There would have been no Sabbatean Frankism without Judaism and Kabbalah. There would be no Zohar. There would be no Talmud without the Torah and the Tanakh. But they won't criticize the root of it all. Where have we heard this before? Oh, it's actually the Khazars that are... She said that too, by the way.
Remember the exact date. He did it during Passover for a reason. This Frankist cult, which is masquerading behind Jews, still participates in this shit to this day, okay? Why would you want, as a small nation that is the size of New Jersey, okay, why would you want the pedophiles to flee there? Like, why would you want the pedophiles to be procreating? Unless the nation of Israel may have been established by some Frankists. And it's looking...
See, it's not rabbis and a Jewish agenda to return to the land and rebuild the temple and fulfill their prophecies and Isaiah and the Psalms and rule the world with their Moshiach from the third temple. No, that's not the problem. It's those Frankists and Khazarians that pretending to be Jews set up Israel. So she's not identifying reality and what the actual threat is at all. Pure misdirection. Sorry, but the girl that's never talked about Jews ever, that was made famous by all the top Zionists like Prager, Charlie Kirk, and Ben Shapiro, shouldn't be jumping to the front of the pack, leading the opposition, controlling the whole narrative, and injecting so much disinformation and limited hangout garbage, subverting the true issue. See what I'm saying here?
Small nation that is the size of New Jersey, okay, why would you want the pedophiles to flee there? Like, why would you want the pedophiles to be procreating? Unless the nation of Israel may have been established by some Frankists. And it's looking like Theodore Herzl's family was from the exact same area in Moravia.
Yeah, the idea to return to the homeland, the Jews to return to Israel, was long preceded Theodore Herzl and modern Zionism. They try to act like, oh, Zionism is a secular deception. Like, no, the rabbis, the top Kabbalah rabbis throughout history wanted to return to the land. Sabbatean Frankism was a Zionist movement in the 1600s. They thought he was the Jewish Messiah according to Kabbalah and Torah and wanted to return to Israel.
And in Bohemia, where the
Bar Kokhba, one of their first potential messiahs in 2nd century. Also, they wanted to reclaim the land and rebuild their temple that the Romans destroyed. They've been Zionist all along. This idea that Zionism has been hijacked is such a joke.
The Frankist cult was founded. Crazy when you get into his family. That, like, maybe Theodore Herzl, who wrote in a book that he didn't care how many Jews had to die for him to get to the state of Israel, like, maybe he was not actually a Torah worshipping Jew. Like, I don't know. I'm just throwing out some ideas here.
Yeah, because the Torah isn't all about the Jews and their holy land and their temples and returning from exile and rebuilding their nations. No, that's just Frankist, Sabbatean, Khazar, Theodor Herzl, Kabbalah. Like, see what they're doing here? It's like everybody thinks, oh, she's exposing the Jews so much. No, she's literally controlled opposition. I don't know if she's doing this on purpose. This could be what she sincerely believes. It's not like she's the first person to talk about that. That's the other thing, is she's acting like nobody's ever talked about this before, and she's the first person like discovered the truth. Like, where are the interviews and platforming of people that have been talking about Sabbatean Frankists for 10, 20, 30 years? Where's that? She's citing where she found any of this information? All the people that were censored for decades talking about this, and then now somehow she's allowed to explode and do it?
So who wrote in a book that he didn't care how many Jews had to die for him to get the state of Israel. Like, maybe he was not actually a Torah worshipping Jew. Like, I don't know. I'm just throwing out some ideas here. And by throwing out some ideas, I mean, I've read a ton of books and I've figured it out. Okay.
He wasn't religious enough, basically, for a lot of people in the Zionist movement. They replaced him with Chaim Weizmann.
Like, so over the idea that Israel is our ally and friend. If another person says that stupid statement, I'm going to personally punch you in the face. I am. It's going to be.
Okay. Henrik nailed it here. He said, the Zabbatai Zevi Frankist cope coming in hard right now. Beware. Historically speaking, was this ever a thing? Yes, it was. But at the end of the day, if an ethno-religious group that today is disproportionately behind behaviors and actions that impacts us all negatively, there's no reason to go to a historical obscurity in order to explain it. If it was just down to the small fake group inside of it that had infiltrated it, hiding in order to use it as a shield to cause trouble and in the process make others look bad, it would be very simple for the rest of the group to call it out, speak up against it, and expose them. I know. Why are all the rabbis around the world not exposing that Israel is ran by the fake Jews and the Khazarians or the Sabbatean Frankists? Surprisingly, actually, a rabbi is the source for this. So this is like a Jewish rabbi type of conspiracy. But I don't. Okay. Changing the label doesn't change the behavior. And here's what else Candace said. 33,000 likes. Someone said something the other day that I wanted to share. The reason these demons we are fighting have to lie, steal, cheat, backstab, and blackmail to get ahead is because they lack God's creative force to produce anything of real value. They are Canaanites. The Jews actually, I do believe, are the Canaanites. The Hebrew tribal war god Yahweh definitely was a mix of Greek ideas, Zoroastrian ideas, Persian ideas, maybe even Egyptian ideas, and Canaanite ideas. Syncretic blend of all of the different religions back in the day. But this is not a Canaanite conspiracy. These Jews today and Kabbalists and Torah believers don't have some secret Canaanite cult that they're a part of. But this is just more, it's not Jews, it's not Torah Judaism, it's not Yahweh Moshiachism, it's Canaanites now. Canaanites, Sabbatean Frankists, Khazars, anything but criticizing the Torah. Somebody did a thread about how she's actually been friends with the Tates for a long time. That's a funny photo.